This disease of addiction touches most lives in one way or another. It kills people, and it hurts people, and it hurts them deep. You know, I see it.
I myself, I don't mind talking about it, I was a heroin addict for most of my life.
I was incarcerated for some time here in California.
When I was 18, I started using heroin.
I almost drank myself to death.
I went to jail, got out May 16th, right? 2 weeks later, another 180 days. It's embarrassing, you know, like, I can't do this.
This community has been unbelievably impacted by the war on drugs. This is where the weed was grown. This is where the crime associated with that clandestine economy for years has impacted generations of people here.
For me in particular, in the past, I would run from stress. I would hide from fear, and I would use it with alcohol. Walking through the recovery process has changed the way I think and what I value as a human. That changed my life. I believe our goal is to produce assets to society and assets to recovery. The difference between this job site and like a normal construction site, I would say a lot of these people are new to recovery. Some have just graduated from like say a 30-day treatment program. Some of them are out of jail because of drugs and or alcohol.
There you go.
This is like my first actual job, you know. It's like a learning curve for me.
Showing up to work some days in the beginning is, you know, a feat in itself when you're new to recovery.
They're very understanding. Like if I have something going on, I need to go to court, whatever it is, they're really understanding. It's like, okay.
We're a lot more lenient.
They pay us for lunch. They help me with my resume. They've been trying to get me jobs or get me into trucking school.
In the end, we'd like them to be more like self-sufficient and less reliant on us. We want them to have that like self-motivation, that take charge attitude.
So you can basically see hot water comes in here, goes through the valve and out there, which goes to the spout.
I've taught a number of classes, but the most recent ones for the last several years have been through the Jefferson Community Center.
Bob is the gold standard when it comes to construction. Like he's a historic buildings expert.
Eureka's loaded with Victorian and Craftsman architecture, probably a higher concentration than anywhere in the world. Before this project, we restored 2 historic Victorian homes. All those projects involved people in recovery.
Bob and Zach, I'm so glad that they're my teachers. They're really amazing human beings.
This house, man.
This building is probably about in the worst part of Eureka that you can imagine.
I think it was built in like 1890 or something. It's really old.
In 1983, that was already known as the Heroin Hilton. And it was where anybody could get any drugs that were available at that time.
I remember I used to come through the alley, people laying on the doors in the alley. At least 40, 50 people would be all lined up in here just sitting around, sleeping all down the halls. People died in here, lots of people OD'd.
The guy that cleaned this building out beforehand said he filled a 5-gallon bucket and then some with needles.
kind of hits home for me. You know, I was a former addict myself. If I had lived out in this area, I probably found myself here at times back in its heyday.
When we walked through the building, we could see it could be a hostel, it could be housing, it could be apartments, but for me, I saw it could be a field lab. It's a perfect place to start training people because it's got everything. Plumbing, electrical, plaster, window repair, foundation repair, roof repair, it's got it all.
You know, if we went into a house that needed very few things done, it would be frustrating. Fortunately, we're in a place that needs a lot of help.
We all come from different backgrounds, but we all have one thing in common, the fact that we're survivors of various drug addictions and alcohol addictions.
The fact that everybody around here understands that and I could talk openly about it without feeling uncomfortable, it's cool.
No matter what type of background you have, you're not judged.
In our own personal lives, you know, we try to always go to meetings together outside of work and encourage one another.
Talk about our day, how we're feeling that day. You know, it makes you want to wake up and come back to work, you know.
We work, but we have fun, you know, so it's not so stiff around here. We joke around. I love the crew I work with.
I don't have family here in Humboldt County, period, or even close by. All my family is in Arizona.
We feel like we're family here, you know.
I felt like I've been adopted in some type of way.
This is your pro-social network. This is where you can talk about what's going wrong and what's going right. We have that flexibility, which is really beautiful.
Having a criminal background can really taint a person's possibility of getting a job. Coming through here and having groomed them a little bit and also getting to know them a little bit, we can advocate for them. We can give them a reference and say, hey, this guy kicks ass.
I totally feel like I have the support I need now. I'm like around my family, they support me 100%. Even at work I have support, at the SLE I stay at I have support. I feel like my future's bright and I feel like I can conquer whatever I put my mind to.
Next week I'll be celebrating a year of recovery. It's just amazing to be able to have those kind of real bonds and real relationships again, being sober, being true.
My kid loves me. He wakes up every day. My son loves me, man. He wakes up, he sees me, he smiles.
This is the last part of my life because I'm 56, it's the last quarter. I want to make it count.
Thanks to the Westside Community Improvement Association, I got a job. It's something that I'm passionate about, that I like doing, and hopefully in the future I'm able to gain more knowledge and grow in that field.